Now I'm going to talk about Governor Sanders. Now Governor Sanders running for office. She assembles her campaign team, and this nice young lady got to know. She came in. She's from Arizona. Her name's Gretchen Conger. She's Sarah's campaign manager, and Gretchen's now Governor's chief of staff. She used to be the deputy chief of staff to Governor Ducey in Arizona. Did any of you go to the Americans Prosperity thing at Cotto's a few nights ago? Do you remember the senator from Arizona that spoke to us, and he was telling about the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court decision that said this money doesn't belong to the state. It doesn't belong to the federal government. It really doesn't even belong to the parents. It belongs to the kids. When we say money follows a person, the U.S. Supreme Court said that's not the state's money. That's not the superintendent's money. That's the kids' money. So when people say, well, I don't want to take my government money and give it to some private school or homeschooler. No. U.S. Supreme Court said, no, it's not yours. It belongs to that child. That's what came out of Arizona. Okay, so then Gretchen's there. That's a good sign for Arkansas. Governor Ducey's assistant chief of staff is now the Arkansas governor's chief of staff. And then Sarah appoints a secretary of education from guess where? Florida. I can tell you some stuff about Secretary Oliva. I'm probably not even at liberty to say that. I don't want to steal these guys' thunder. But this guy, he gets it. And you know, this is the guy that carried out what Governor DeSantis did in Florida. And the Governor DeSantis took what former Governor Jeb Bush did and took it even further. And they've had more progress by the measurables, test scores, and all the things in Florida than any other state in the union over that period of time. Now, y'all have done a great job of pointing out problems, things, you know, glitches, bumps in the road, potholes, things that we got to worry about. But I'm so optimistic because having been back when we couldn't even get a simple thing where that kid Monticello could play football with his friends while he was homeschooled. And you know, we've got this horrible literacy issue. And it's not just about education, it's not just about jobs. Let me tell you how it fits with criminal justice reform. We're having to build more prison space to house the kids that didn't learn to read. Because I can't read, I can't get a job, so I might as well go sell drugs and kill people and rob. If they were inspired and learned to read and found a trade they liked and made a decent living, many of them would have done that. So you get this diversion at the fourth grade. If you know how to read, you know, you go on to school, you might go to college, but you might go to trade school, you know, you have to read the manual to be a plumber or electrician, you know, and you have a quality of life. If you can't, you go to Cummins or Tucker. Now that's an oversimplification, but it is absolutely true in this state.
Or drug dealers or teen pregnancy.
All the things that are bad is when you can't function. I don't believe, I know there are people, even kids, they're bad, but I think they're very, very few. Very few.
Do you have information or some kind of statistics or something that proves that link between the two?
There is, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, nationally.
We've been working on
I know there is.
Third grade reading level statistics.
Yes.
Here's my question. Here's what I'm thinking. Because there are a lot of kids that just don't care. And their parents don't want to make them care. And so if they don't have someone in their life besides a teacher, because a teacher to these kids, okay, so I didn't grow up in Little Rock, I grew up in Benton, but I grew up with the kids that were in the gangs, you know, that were the bad kids.
Let me interrupt you and say this, okay?
Well, let me finish my thought, which is they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn to read. They don't see the good in it. They see it
I know that that's the case sometimes, but I think that's a smaller minority. And I think that what we need, and we need it in many ways, is Brian's grandmother. we need that person, like my 4th grade teacher, Ms. Ludwig, who, her daughter was my high school biology teacher, and her grandson is a successful businessman in Conway, and his son is a lawyer in Conway. These are all people I grew up with.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think we do need women like that, but we don't have women like that. The most of the people that we have that are teachers in the education system, maybe not in Arkansas, I can't speak to that, but by and large, most of the educators think they are that woman, and they think they are helping the kids, and they're helping them by not, by saying, it's okay if you're transgender because I don't want you to commit suicide. So they do think they're being that role. They do think they're being
You
that
make a
person.
valid point, but I don't want you to get so, you're seeing the real problem, but don't see that there are opportunities to overcome.
Oh, no. Well, I'm just disagreeing with the fact that I don't think, I disagree with you in the sense that, yes, I do think everybody ought to be able to read. But I don't think, if you don't work on a child's character and their heart and their desire to know this is what's good in life,
You're getting ahead of me.
then it doesn't matter if they read. That's my point. Okay, I'll read.
I was headed there. I was headed there, okay? All right.
I'm sorry. Character